All right, we are live. Ladies, you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, let's do this. What's up, everybody? We are live. Welcome to another session of the Golf Club Podcast. My name is Will. I am the host of this show, the number one Polynesian podcast in the world. Oh, wow. Let's get it, y'all. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. I can see the viewership going up right now. You guys already tuned in early for the live show. Thank you so much. If you're tuning in for the very first time, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for always supporting and tuning in for my daily show. See, I see you, Ty, already. Ty, that's also time to play. You already know we don't play around on this podcast. Ty, I already appreciate you already tuning in really early. Always the first one on the live show. Thank you so much, Ty. Shout out to you. But yeah, if you're tuning in for the very first time, whatever which part of the world you're tuning in from, thank you so much for always supporting and tuning into my daily shows I host on Saturdays. And of course, everybody out there to subscribe, to follow my content and support my journey, about my podcast journey. Thank you so much for all your love and support. You guys already know what to do. If you support the content, love to support the content, love the channel, and appreciate the journey, smash and press that like. Shout out to you guys. Don't forget, today, if you're tuning in for the very first time, tonight we will be talking about dating, sex and relationships. So I do have a quick disclaimer for everybody out there under the age of 18.
This content is not suitable for the children under the age of 18 without adult supervision. Please be advised.
Just please be advised, everybody out there under the age of 18, if you are under the age of 18, I need you to go to sleep. All right, go to sleep and get ready for church tomorrow on Sunday. All right. Um, Nevertheless, thank you so much for tuning in right now. Don't forget, we do have the live chat, y'all. Always appreciate you guys. Always sharing your thoughts in the live chat. You guys already know what to do. So we're gonna have a different type of topics that we're gonna discuss tonight towards dating, sex, and relationships. So obviously we're gonna have different opinions and discussions tonight. So I always appreciate you guys always dropping your feedback. So definitely let me know what you guys think, your feedback, your opinions, your perspectives. I always appreciate what you guys say in the live chat. And don't hold back, y'all. You guys already know what to do in the live chat. Don't hold back. Keep it real with us and these beautiful ladies. But I always appreciate you guys. Let's get that live chat popping, y'all. Don't forget, this is a live show. So if you're tuning in for the very first time and you're not familiar with my show, it is a public show. I allow people that watch as part of the audience to come on and join the conversation. So I will post the public link on the live chat on YouTube. So if you're watching this from Facebook, if you're watching this from Twitch, you have to come to YouTube and go on the live chat and click on the public link, and you can join the conversation and be part of the conversation with these beautiful ladies. It will be pinned on the top of the screen. Just look at the top of the screen. You'll be able to see it. Click on it and be part of the conversation. I know there's a lot of people out there that support my channel, but I also know there's a lot of people out there that disagree with my views, get triggered, or hate my content. So to all my haters out there,
How dare you?
if you have something to say, disagree with something that I say, come on, I invite you. Let's have a conversation. So I know there's a lot of people out there that have certain they don't have think of my content negatively, but I always invite you to be part of the conversation and let's have a conversation of why you disagree a lot of the things I say on my platform. But nevertheless, I do have the super chat donations. Fatty already on here on the live show. What's up, Fatty? I always appreciate you tuning in early on my live show, and shout out to you, man, all the way from Portugal. But yeah, anybody out there that will always support, everybody out there that always supports my channel financially, thank you so much for all your super chat donations. Every single financial donation will be reinvested back to my content to give you guys better quality content. And of course, launching my podcast studio, which I'm planning to launch by the end of this year. I'm gonna have a real life studio, and I'm gonna be conducting this live podcast with real life people in my studio. So every single donation is much appreciated. If you want to drop a super chat donation, the best way to do it is ask it through a question or topic, and I'll make it a priority. I'll read out your topic or question, and I'll allow the ladies to respond to your topic or question for you guys as well to reciprocate your financial support. So shout out to you guys. But nevertheless, that's pretty much all my YouTube stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in already. And of course, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the beautiful ladies. Thank you so much for taking the time from all different parts of the world to be part of this podcast tonight and having some great fun conversations for you guys tonight. But ladies, obviously you guys here for the first time. A lot of people watching this right now and they want to know who you are. So okay, you guys go ahead and give yourselves a quick introduction. You know, your name, your age, what do you do, and what's your relationship status. And I'll start with you, Soraya. Go ahead, Soraya. Quick introduction for yourself.
Okay, so my handle on Twitter is SRRIBERA, and currently I'm single, and I'm 21.
All right, no worries. And what do you do, Soraya?
So right now I work retail. Yeah.
For sure. All right, Soraya, thank you so much. I always appreciate you having you on tonight's podcast. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All
Thank you
right,
so much
shout out
for having me.
all the way from Texas, and we got that Cali love. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Soraya. I'll pass it on to Christine. Christine, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Right. Hey, my name is Christine Michael. I'm 26. I currently study law and I'm an entrepreneur.
All
I'm
right.
in a relationship.
All right. Nice. All right. Thank you so much. All right. All the way from TG. Thank you so much, Christine. I appreciate you having you on tonight's show. Very excited to have you on here. I'll move it on to Roxanne. Roxanne, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hi everyone, my name is Roxanne Juggernaut. You can find me on all social medias by the same name. And I'm 21. I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay. All right. And no worries. And what's your status?
I'm in a relationship-ish, single-ish.
Oh.
I'm on both sides.
AKA single. Okay, got you. All right, no worries. All right, Roxanne, thank you so much. All the way from Jamaica. Always appreciate you tuning in for tonight's show. Excited to have you on here. And last but not least, go ahead, Sharon, and introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, I'm Sharon. I'm from Singapore. I'm 28 this year, and I'm in a relationship. In Singapore, I'm an artist, so I act and I sing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Appreciate that. You think, but you think at the end of the podcast, Sharon, we can get a little example of your singing at the end?
So I sing Indian songs.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. Thank you, Sharon. And of course, this is the first time being on my podcast, Sharon. But people that follow my content know I'm a big Bollywood fan because I grew up in the islands. That's all we had. That's all they sold in the rental store was Bollywood DVD movies in the islands. So that's all I watched. That's all I watched growing up as a kid in the islands. So yeah, maybe we could get some of that at the end. All right, no worries. Sharon, I appreciate you being on here on tonight's podcast, and then of course shout out to all the live people on the live show already tuning in already. Shout out to you guys. And then Ty said it's complicated. LOL. All right, no worries. But nevertheless, let's go right into it. I'm gonna bring up the very first topic. Ladies, prepare yourselves. I like to bring up a topic that's hot. I like to start it hot in the beginning of the show. So I have a very good topic to discuss. Something I saw that was trending on social media. I do have a quick video. I like to play a video real quick. That's I saw that was trending on social media about this topic, and then of course I'll ask you guys what you guys think about the topic I'm going to discuss. So let me just play the video real quick, and then let me know what you guys think. And I'm just gonna mute you guys real quick, just so that way the audio is a lot better for the video when I play it for the live show. Okay, so let me play the video. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna play the video right now.
Will always continue to choose the best option and never settle.
No, because a lot of women settle.
Right, but do they want to settle?
No.
So they would want to choose the best option, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, women are picky as is, so it's like they're gonna always choose the best option for who they want and who they want to be with, because they're not gonna settle for less. They're gonna settle for the top dog.
Some women are so set on not settling that they never find that perfect person. And it's just, they just keep looking, and they're gonna look until they find no one, because no one is going to check all those boxes.
All right. Okay. All right. So that was my live topic. Let me just take that out real quick. All right. So, ladies, so this is the topic I'm gonna first start off real quick. Something I saw that was trending on social media. I saw a lot of people talking about it. Why do people settle? So obviously, when I heard from the discussion for both the men and the women, but from the women's perspective, obviously, since the men have to pursue you guys, we're the ones we have to approach you. So you guys have to choose. You guys have the opportunity to select whoever you guys want to select. So for most women, they want to pick out of all the men that pursue you, that want to be with you. You have to select the best option for you. So my question for you, ladies, is like, how do you know? Like, how do you know um, if a woman settled? If a woman settled with a guy and she didn't pick the guy that she really wanted, and I guess that's the question a lot of guys were asking, because sometimes guys will go into relationships and they realize that sometimes the women will settle with him, but they're always looking for that, I guess, the one guy that they really wanted, but just temporarily he's with him for now. But that guy that she really wanted came along, she would drop that guy and go with the guy that she really wanted. All right. So, but yeah, so that's my question that I want to ask you guys, ladies, real quick. This is something I saw was trending on social media, so just want to bring it up for discussion. How do you guys know that women? How do you know if you look at a couple, if a woman, like, how do you know if a woman settled and she didn't really pick the man that she really wanted in the first place? All right. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and especially those in the live chat. Let me know what you guys think on the video. What's your reaction to it and what you guys think? But I'm gonna pass it on to the ladies. I'll start it off with you, Sharon. Sharon, what do you think? Oh, let me just unmute everybody. My bad. Let me unmute everybody real quick, and then you guys are all good to go.
So basically, humans are complicated. So no matter, I don't think that we will ever settle with someone who is a 100% perfection. All humans definitely we have flaws. So if you really look at whether we are going to settle with someone who is not our dream guy, we can never get a dream guy. It's very hard to get a dream guy. If you're going to look at a dream guy, you will never settle. That's my perspective. Yeah. And I think a lot of women out there, they are picky to the point where even the perfect guy is beside them, they do not choose them because they still want more. So yeah. So do y'all have any other feedback on this?
No worries. Okay, so your feedback, Sharon, is just, there's no such thing as perfectionism, and there's a lot of women out there, they want the perfect guy, but we all know that perfect guy doesn't exist because we're all humans. We all have flaws, right? Okay. All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Sharon. I'll pass it on to you, Christine. Christine, what do you think? Yeah, like, how do you know woman settled and she didn't really pick the guy that she wanted?
Yes, I think it's about either emotions or about practicality. And when it comes to modern dating, I believe with experiences, with the surrounding around me, seeing my friends, seeing so many examples, I think it's about practicality these days. Even if a girl wants a guy so much and she doesn't settle with her, it's because she wants a future with another guy who is better off. And when I say practicality, it means the standard of living the guy has, the life that he can give to her. So I think that precedes over emotions. But it is actually about love and feelings, emotions, but I think mostly practicality takes over. So even though they want someone so bad and he cannot provide a good life for her, or there are flaws in that practicality department, they will settle with the person who can provide her with it, though she doesn't want her that much.
Okay. All right. No worries. No worries. I appreciate that. So, so you're saying is what most women are looking for, because obviously a lot of women want emotions and feelings and love, but what's really, really important for most women, I think you said it, the standard of life a man can give you. So, which pretty much for me, what that sounds. Yeah. That means like his ability to provide for you financially, right? To take care of you and your family. Is that what you mean?
Financially, that matters. I've seen that.
Yeah. All right. And ladies, everybody on the panel, does a man's financial ability to take care of you and your kids, is that really important in as far as like what you look for in a man?
I don't think so for me. Okay. For on Christine's point, I would just like to add on a bit, because I've also seen women where there is perfect guy out there, like there is the perfect guy who can provide her everything, but love is so blind that she will end up going for someone who has no chemistry with her,
Okay.
and that guy may not be perfect.
So when you say perfect guy that can provide you with everything, so you meaning what are you meaning perfect guy? I mean, my guy that has has a lot of money. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
It's settled. I would say it's settled. I have seen women where there is a person who is settled, and they wouldn't want that guy, and they will end up with someone who is more on the chemistry level with them.
Okay. All right. So they settled with the guy, but then the guy that was the more the personality, the more chemistry, more compatibility. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No worries. All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Appreciate for sharing that, Sharon. Let me pass it on to you, Roxanne. Roxanne, what do you think? How do you know a woman settled and they didn't pick the guy that she really wanted?
All right, so this is kind of tricky because it's most times men settle and women can abstain from certain stuff, or she can go without a male or a female, whatever the partner is, she can abstain. She can go through things by herself, but you know, man, them can do them something there. But I don't know. It's very tricky because women, as I said, can go without. She can go without a couple months, and trust me, nobody's perfect. You can't say there's a perfect guy, there's a perfect female, nobody's perfect. Everybody has their flaws, everybody has different personalities. But for most women, men might jump into something. Yeah, I mean, I have guys out there who know what they want. They want a wife material or whatever. But it's most times for the females, so they know what they want. If you're not perfect, as you guys call it, she's not going to jump into a serious relationship with you if you're not serious or if you're not perfect for her. So maybe it can be something in and out, or I don't know, but nobody is perfect. Relationship has their flaws, and you just have to do what you have to do.
All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that. For Roxanne. For everybody out there, I just posted the public link on the live chat. So if you're watching this right now, just if you want to be part of the conversation, go to the YouTube live chat on the top of the screen. It's pinned. You guys can see the public podcast and invite you guys to be part of this conversation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Roxanne. I'm gonna pass it to you, Soraya. Soraya, what do you think? The topic: how do you know a woman has settled and she didn't really pick the man that she really wanted?
Okay, so I've been working retail a really, really, really long time. And it's very obvious in like the body language and just the way that the guy just talks to the woman and just treats her. It's very obvious that she did settle. Her face, the way that she ages is so much quicker than like somebody that's actually genuinely happy in a relationship. So I mean, like everybody has said, nobody is perfect, but at the same time, like women will settle for a man if they need to, if he can provide, if he can take care of the kids, if he can, take care of the house, then I mean, they're gonna settle.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Roxanne. All right. But yeah, let me just post some things real quick from the live chat. The live chat, they said, Ty said, love, feelings, and emotions, but I want the man to provide for the relationship. Noted. Thank you so much. Fatty said, I like Christine's honesty. Now let's see of the others cap. Okay. All right. No worries. And then the Lansford Anderson. This is the first time I've ever seen you on the live podcast. Shout out to Lansford Anderson. Thank you for watching for the very first time. And Lansford Anderson said, Will, Dem, Roxanne. I don't know what that meant, but thank you for sharing your live on the live chat. I appreciate you here for the first time, Lansford. Don't forget to, if you love the content, like and subscribe. All right, so ladies, okay, I got a chance to listen to you guys, and the one thing that you guys all said, and I can agree that no one's perfect. So obviously we're human beings. Everybody has flaws, right? But you all said that a lot of women, they want to seek perfect guy, right? So for me, from the men's perspective, because we see these things, obviously you guys, like I said, you guys, we have to pursue you, and then you guys have to choose whoever you want to be with long term. So as from the men's perspective, we see the type of men that women choose first, right? But a lot of times what happens is they all choose the same type of man, but when this man doesn't give her the emotions, the love, the support that she really needs, or like give her that relationship commitment that she really wants from that man that she wants first, then she will start to settle. You know what? The guy I wanted to pick first, he's not giving me the commitment in the relationship I want. And then they will find a guy, I guess the second or third or fourth option, because that guy would give her the relationship, even though that wasn't her first pick. So my question to ask you guys real quick is, like that perfect guy, which I would describe that first pick, like what types of men that would women pick first? Like, and I want to ask you, what's your opinion? Like, if what are the types of men, if you had most women, you had the option. Obviously, the one that we if you want to keep it real, we all know a man, if the guy has money, he has a good possibility of getting selected by most women. Let's keep it real. If he's a multi-millionaire, he has a blue check mark on Instagram, he's a rapper, singer, celebrity, NBA basketball player, we know that majority of women be like, oh, I want that guy, right? But the question is that high level guy, is he gonna pick you and give you that relationship you want? And if he doesn't, then you have to go settle for somebody else. So I just use that example. But what I want to ask you guys is, what are the types of men that most women would prefer? And if you guys want to keep it real, keep it real for everybody that's watching, because I do see that for a lot of women. They want that one guy that she wanted, the 6 foot tall, handsome, good looking, good body, but if he's not giving her the relationship that she wants, the commitment and the emotional stability and that love she wants, and when she finally realizes that, then she's like, damn, you know what, I probably have to go to somebody, my second, third, fourth option, because the guy I really wanted is not giving that to me, and they will settle for the other guy. But yeah, I just want to ask you guys, so what are the types of men that most women want and they would pick first? And I want to ask you that question. I guess the dream guy that most women want. What's the dream guy? If you could describe that guy, that if most women would say, I want that guy. I start with you, Sharon.
Most women, not me.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, most women.
Okay, from most women, I would say that they would want a guy who's settled, a guy who's loyal, someone who knows what they want and knows how to give commitment to their partner. Okay, but for me, the number one is a cross. As in, when I pick a guy, I won't exactly see if he is settled, as in he is rich or whether he has a house, because I honestly believe that we are in the 21st century and women also can do that, and together with the men we can succeed together with them. I do not need a man who is rich, who has everything. I don't mind building it with him. So that is my perspective as a woman. But most women, they might look at the settled part.
Okay, no worries. So what you're saying is a lot of women out there, they want to be at the finish line, the guy that has everything, but for you, you don't mind a guy that's still in the process of building his dream, or his stability. So because you wouldn't be with a guy that has zero ambitions, right? That's lazy and has no ambitions.
No, not that. A guy who is ambitious, yes, of course. I think it goes both ways. A man would also at this point, a man would also want a woman who's not who has some ambitions, who has some dreams, not just a woman. So but for me, I think mostly it's more on the commitment and the loyalty from the men, whether they can commit to their partner, and whether they are trustable to build a long-term relationship, because we are not looking at 1-2 years relationship, we are looking at a long-term relationship. So yeah, I'm not it doesn't mean that a man who's settled means sorry, a man who's unsettled means he's not ambition. Of course we will look at that, because we are looking at long term.
Okay. All right. I want to ask you, Sharon, what's more important, a man's ability to be ambitious or or loyal, or I think you said loyal. What was the third one? You said loyal and
Commitment.
right? So if there was a guy that was loyal and committed, but he's ambitious, was like mediocre or below average, or would you want a guy that's very ambitious, but his commitment and his loyalty is mediocre or below average? Which one is more important? The loyalty commitment over the ambitious guy, or the guy that has no ambition but he's loyal and committed?
Oh, that's tricky, but definitely loyalty and commitment will come first, because ambition is something we can work towards. If I ask each of us over here what is our ambition, sometimes it can change. Today I want to be this, then after we grow older we want to have a different ambition. So I rather the guy has a working in progress in his ambition, and he looks forward to it. Definitely not someone who's totally lazy, but loyalty and commitment is definitely important to me.
Okay. All right. No worries. No worries. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I see a first time person on the live chat, Drolix. Shout out to Drolix. Drolix said, all cap, just be tall, white, full of set of hair, in shape, lean body fat, square jaw, and good looking. Personality, job, money, status doesn't mean anything. All right, Drolix, thank you so much for tuning in for the first time, and I see you on the live chat. Thank you for sharing your point of view. But I'll pass it to you, Christine. Christine, what do you think? Why do you obviously a lot of the ladies were saying that a lot of women have their dream guy. So so can you describe the dream guy that most? I mean, it doesn't have to be you, but that most women would be like that's their first option.
First of all, I really agree with what Sharon has said, that financial stability of men doesn't really matter if a woman can provide for herself and build everything for herself. That's really true. But at the end of the day, though we are in our modern era, we are all human beings, so we do come with emotions. So for ladies, little things really matter. That is really, really, I would say it takes the highest position in our life. And these little things are behaviors of men, as in their behavior to be a gentleman, treat us like that, give us the attention. So those little things really matter. For financial stability, if a guy comes with that, it's just a bonus. For ladies who are ambitious, so it's just a bonus. Yeah. It's a necessity in the list.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So
the things that the guys do for us, so that they're just hanging out with us, their attention is elsewhere, listening to us, talking to us, paying attention. So that does really matter, and it's more on a emotional emotional side.
Okay. All right. All right. So you said that if a man's financial ability is important, but if a woman's independent and can do that for herself, it's not really a priority, right? And then you said, and then of course, as long as he can support you, listen to you, and give you the emotional support, that's what matters to you.
It does. Financial is not a necessity, because I believe it's a bonus. It's really good. It's not that we will look for someone who is poor or something, but if the person is like that because of the opportunities they had in their life, they couldn't change something. And as Sharon said, things can change.
Okay. All right. No worries. All right. Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. I'll pass it on to you, Roxanne. Roxanne, the same question. Obviously the perfect guy. Like, what's the guy that most women would want, and if they had the first pick, they would choose that guy. Can you describe him?
All right, it's a fairy tale. You need a perfect guy who maybe can wash, cook, clean too, as share duties, share household chores, take care of the kid, who wants a long-term relationship, who wants to get married, who has not to say a 9 to 5, but a stable job that can cover bills. You have a job also, and whatever. Fairy tale, but reality. I heard, I think Sharon mentioned something about guy who, or it's Christine, who has money. Or sometimes in life, you get someone who has money. But do you want that person who has money? Because they can be controlling. If they are giving you things, they can say, okay, you want to go out with your girlfriends, you can't. If you want to do this, you can't, or whatever. You have to be living up to certain standard for him. So there's not a perfect guy. You have to work towards things together. If it's the case where the person isn't working, you can say, okay, I'm a business person. I'm a business person. Let's find what you are interested in. If it's a simple 9 to 5, or you can be an entrepreneur too, or something, find something to do, something you love to do. Nobody wants a man who sits at home, you pay all bills or whatever, but still you have to work together. That is what a relationship is for. If you just happen to just find a perfect guy, trust me, it's not perfect, because no relationship is perfect. You have your ups, you have your downs. Having everything is not it, because you can have everything and you're not happy. So you have to think about those stuff.
Okay. All right. No worries. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Roxanne. Obviously, I agree. There's no one's there's no such thing as a perfect guy or woman out there.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. And Soraya, I forgot. Did I already ask you to go? Soraya?
No, just not yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just all right. This is okay. Go ahead. I just forgot. But yeah. Go ahead, Soraya. What's your thing? What's the guy that most women would want and would like to pick first?
So honestly, I've dealt with like a lot of talking stages and just trying to figure out exactly like what I like in a man. And really, like, it's someone that is loyal, someone that is honest, and someone that is like really just that can tell you like, hey, you messed up, but also like this is how you should help yourself. Like someone that can build with you. It doesn't matter whether or not he has money. Like that comes over time. Maybe he's building a career, maybe he's, working on himself. It takes time to say that. In it takes time to build a relationship and to build these things, especially if you're trying to be happy in the long run. It takes time to kind of work towards those things, especially if you want a future with them, if you want kids, if you want to settle down, get a house with them, move out of state. It's a whole thing.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you. I understand. Thank you for sharing that, Soraya. I really appreciate that. Yeah, ladies. I do have a couple of things that I did want to respond to based on something you guys said, but I do want to open up for discussion for you guys. Are there anything else you guys wanted to add based on what everybody else responded, or something that you disagreed or agreed? You guys can go ahead. Go ahead, Roxanne. Go ahead, Roxanne.
I realize everybody is saying loyal, but quick question to the three of you young ladies. What do you mean by loyal?
So as far as loyalty, my bad.
Yeah, go ahead. You good. Go ahead, Soraya. Go ahead.
So as far as loyalty, like, to be honest, I just dealt with a toxic, and I have been in multiple talking stages, and it's just been to where like the guy will stick with you for 2 weeks, or he'll, be super into you for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, things change, and he's liking other girls' pictures, or he's talking to other girls, but he doesn't, really tell you like, hey, I'm not feeling this, or hey, I don't really like you in that type of way anymore. I don't want to build things with you anymore. It's kind of like he's seeking other things without telling you.
Okay.
And that kind of breaks loyalty in a sense.
I'll listen to you guys' request, but let me answer you now. So, you have been in different relationships, the same problems, the same issues. Not saying you're the problem, but have you questioned yourself? Have you put what would you say, line out of what you want in your life?
Yes, so I keep running into the same issues as to where guys don't want to, like, in a sense, they don't want to deepen the relationship. I don't know if it's because of me, if it's the way that I treat them, or if it's the way that I talk to them. I feel like I come off a little too strong to begin with, and maybe that's like what is holding me back from actually like building things on, is just because I come off too strong, or maybe it's because I just come off way too shy, because like over the phone or like on social media, I'm super upfront, I'm super open, and I'm like very honest with myself. But whenever it comes to talking to people upfront and being face to face, I'm very, very shy, as to where like I kind of stay in my own shell. And maybe that's what it is. My confidence is just not to where they thought it would be. Or maybe it's just because I'm not super honest and like open with myself.
All right. We're not taking long, but I always tell females on my lives, you can be single. Do not be afraid to be single and know what you want. Let people come. Let people see what you are. Let them have a standard. That when the come, they'll know that this is what they have to work with. You don't have to pressure yourself or to be someone else for a person or whatever. Be yourself and let them accept it. Don't stop accepting what persons accepting persons' opinion. Stop accepting what people think of you and so forth. The person who are going to be in a relationship with you, he's supposed to be showing minimal effort. And if you're not seeing that, don't be afraid to say, okay, we can't do this. Don't be afraid to wait or don't say anything, because you're the person getting emotionally attached. You can always say to the person or whatever. But maybe I'm taking the loyal thing different, and they are saying perfect guys and this and that. But I always say men will always be men. You see, if they are doing something out the road and you don't know for years, and they do it with respect, then that I wouldn't consider he's a loyal person because he's still cheating or whatever. But once a person does it with respect, you don't know about it or whatever, you guys, you don't have a perfect man. It's 2022. Stop thinking about perfect man, perfect life, perfect this and perfect that. It's not. I mean, some people it's possible, but you can't put these things on your mind. It will happen. You can't say you're not going to accept things, or people are going to do you things. You have to put it there, put it on the table and say, this can happen, this will happen. or whatever. Not saying you're going to just jump and have trust issues. You're just going to put it out there and say, this can happen. It's modern days.
Okay.
If this isn't working, then I can sit back. Somebody must come. You don't have to be in a relationship to, for somebody to get you or whatever. You can sit, let somebody see who you are. There's somebody always watching. The person might not be perfect to you, but nobody is perfect. You can make that person perfect or however you want them. So,
All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Roxanne. I really appreciate that. I think Lansford Anderson was giving you a clap. All right. For what you shared. Shout out to you, Lansford Anderson. And he said that he found the podcast because of you. So thank you for Roxanne
no
for
problem.
sharing the podcast for tonight. And of course, I see you, Devil's Advocate. I see you on here. He posted, Soraya, that happens because you were removed from the potential wife category. I would try and figure out why that happened and move on, but don't try again without some investigation. All right, yeah, Devil, man, thank you so much for sharing that point of view. Yeah, so ladies, Sharon, Christine, anything you guys wanted to add on to the previous conversation? Are you guys good? That's good. All right, good. All right, Sharon, you have something to say? I see your mouth moving. You're about to say something, Sharon. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Okay, sorry. Can I just summarize on the loyalty part? So
Go ahead.
yeah. So Roxanne said that it is okay for a guy to cheat.
No,
Did you mean?
I did
Oh,
not say it's okay, but it's
yes.
modern days now. You can't change anything. Men will always be men, but a female cannot be a man, or do what a man do. So you have to keep that in mind.
Okay. All right. No worries. That's definitely gonna be a good topic that we could discuss about that. But I want to respond to you, ladies, because I know you guys gave your answers, and what I asked you guys was, what is a dream guy, or of course there's no dream guy, but what is like the number one option that most women would want, right? And obviously I listened to your responses, and I agree to some degree, but I think the majority of you guys were saying loyalty, commitment, and a guy that's giving you guys some kind of emotional support. And the reason why I will kind of disagree with you to some degree, because when you meet somebody for the very first time, you don't see his loyalty, you don't see his commitment, and you don't see his love and emotional support. So if you understand the intersexual dynamics between how we attracted to each other, so men and women, we have certain cues or mating attributes or qualities that makes you attracted to him first, for you to be interested before you care about his emotional loyalty and commitment. Because when you meet people for the first time, you don't just see that guy's loyalty, but there's something about him visually and physically that you can see that makes you attracted to him. That's the type of guy I would want to be with. And then once you get with him, or if he does approach you, then of course, you would try to figure out if he's committed, if he's loyal. But there is some kind of sexual attraction that gets you to people. So I do want to talk about the things of what men see. So a lot of men, what are the conversation from the men's perspective? We always hear a lot of women would say, I want emotional support. I want a guy that's committed and loyal. But then you will end up picking certain guys that's not doing those things, but you keep going back to the same guys. And then the guys with the loyalty and the support are like, I'm here, I'm the nice guy, I'm the good guy, but why am I not getting chosen? Why are these women just all picking that certain group of quality guys? So I want to challenge you guys a little bit. I want to give you guys some qualities and attributes, and let me know. And this is the things that men see that we know that this is what women value. But I want to get you guys your honest opinion. So I want to start off with the physical attributes. One of the things that men understand that women like tall guys. So I want to ask you guys real quick, how tall would you date, and what's the height that you will not date anything under, no matter how much emotional support, no matter how much commitment he has, no matter how much low he has, you don't date a guy this tall. And let's keep it real now. Let's keep it real, because there's a certain height in a man. It doesn't matter how loyal he is. It doesn't matter how committed he is. You're not just gonna date a guy at this certain height. So open up that real quick. I'll start with you, Sharon.
Oh wow. Okay. I think it's a very perfect perfect question for me. Because yes, I do agree with you. Physical aspects in terms that comes first when it comes to attraction. So yes, after attraction, then we will look at the chemistry, and then after that, only all this practicality will come in. Whether they are loyal, whether they are, because you will only know the person's character later on. Okay, in terms of height, I've dated someone who is. I'm not very tall. I'm only about 158.
Yeah.
I've dated someone who is like 184, 176. Like that's the normal. And my partner right now, who's the guy I'm settling with, um, he has a beautiful soul, and he may not be that of a height. He is 166, and he personally went through the same thing, where he have met a lot of women who looked at height first. Yes, and lucky I wasn't, because at the moment when I saw him, the height really didn't matter. Even though I have dated like really tall guys, it was really the chemistry that mattered for me, and he personally went through that, where he have had setbacks in the past dating life. Although he was a perfect guy, he is someone who can give everything, but women looked at that first. They looked, oh, you are of this height, we are looking at the certain physical attributes. So this is really something that I do agree with you, that yes, a lot of women do look at that first.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. And you said it was 166. I know that's in meters because of your metrics out there in Singapore. Do you know what that is in feet? Do you know what that is in feet? Oh, okay. Fatty said it already. 166 is a 5'5" guy. Okay. Okay. All right. No worries.
Yeah, that's the average. Actually, a lot of Asians, that's the average guy's height most of the time.
Okay. All right. All right. And then, but this question, like, what is like the limit? What is the height that you're not going below that height? Is it 1'4", 1'3", 1'2"?
Below means below my height, I guess.
Okay. And your height is what's your height?
158.
5'8". Okay, so that would be 5'4", 5'3". Okay. All right. No worries. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that.
But I do agree that there will be people who are going to oppose me, that, oh, why you can't date someone who is below your height. So yeah, that I do agree that people are definitely going to ask me also.
Well, no, it's if you understand the biological perspective, it's a biological thing for women. You want to be with a man that can physically make you feel safe and protected, and a guy's height makes you feel that way. So that's why it matters to you, because you care about a man's ability to provide and protect you. Okay, I'll pass it on to Christine. Christine, for you, same question. What is the height that, no matter how committed it is, how low it is, you don't date? if you're this certain height, you can't give him that choice.
Well, personally, I prefer someone taller than me,
Okay.
and I'm about 165 in meters. And yes, because Will, you just told whatever I wanted to say. That someone who is taller than you will give you this sense of security, safety.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think subconsciously we want that, though it does not really matter, because your question says even though no matter whatever the level of commitment and loyalty gives, you would not date someone like that who is shorter. So that question to be answered, I think if someone is really shorter than you, and I mean, I would say lower than your shoulder length.
Okay.
It's just going to be awkward, because when you walk with the person and living in the society that I am in, it's pretty, I would say, primitive.
Okay.
So, people talk, but it doesn't really matter. It's not that okay, because of the height I won't, because if you get that everything, like you said, all the good characteristics of the person, then height is just a number.
All right.
But personally,
All right, no
I would
worries.
prefer.
Okay, yeah. So you prefer a guy that's taller than you, and then and if the guy's short, the short guys out there, just God bless his soul. Okay, got it. All right. Thank you for sharing that. I do see some people that want to jump on as a public guest. I'm gonna just finish this topic, and I'm gonna allow you guys to jump on. Same thing with you, Roxanne. What is the height for you that you can't date, no matter how low he is, no matter how committed he is, no matter how loving he is, you just can't date that height.
The person has to be my height or taller. I don't know. But then it's a
What's your height?
person's
What's your height?
personality too.
What's your height, by the way?
5'6".
5'6". Okay.
But you can meet people who I'm going to look at you at first and say, oh, you're short or whatever. But then your personality is totally different.
Yeah.
So that might change everything, or But I don't want to. No, sir.
No, I mean, let's be honest. If the guy's like 5'2", 5'3", way shorter, it doesn't matter how big his personality is. You're still not gonna give him a chance.
You can, but I personally, I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to look at it.
Okay. All right. No worries. Yeah, like I said, we're just keeping it real now. So this happens. A lot of men, and as men, we understand this. We as guys, especially the short guys, like they already understand that this is gonna happen. But yeah, I'll pass on this to you, Soraya. Soraya, same question. Yeah, what's the height for you that no matter how loving, how committed it is, you can't date a guy at this height?
So really, any guy that's taller than me, I'm super tiny. I'm 4'10", and so really like, I don't care as long as like he treats me right. But at the same time, like, there's a lot of guys that are very weird and creepy about my age. Like, there's a lot of old guys that will come up to me in my job, and they'll start talking to me and everything, and I'm like, no, like, I don't know. There's a lot of weird guys out there. I don't know. And then they'll start acting like very like possessive and everything. It's weird.
Okay, no worries. Obviously you're 4'10". I think in America the average height for a guy is like 5'7" or 5'8". I think 5'7" or 5'6", I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So most guys will be taller than you. But is there preferred height? Like like is there like the good height, the preferred height for you? Is it 5'5"? Is it 5'6"? What's your preferred height?
I don't really have a preferred height, but the guy that I'm talking to is 6 feet, so
okay.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. Okay, appreciate it. All right, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to ask that question because, like I said, like that's one of the things we as men we hear from a lot of women that they would say, we want loyal, commitment, and which I agree. Like we all want that, even men as well. But we also understand that there are certain things that that women look for, and then sometimes there's a lot of guys out there. Oftentimes the women will choose the dream guy, the guy they really really want, and try to get with them. But then if that doesn't work out after a couple of years or a certain amount of time, then they will eventually go to the 5'5" guy with the big personality. With the big personality, give him a shot. And that guy might have a chance, but then from our perspective, that means you're finally settling. So even though the guy that's 5'5", he finally gets with the girl that he wants, he understands that that girl settled for him. She didn't choose him because that's her first option. He just settled for him because the guy that she really wanted didn't give her the relationship commitment she wanted, and then she finally settled for him. And since the topic was we were discussing, yeah, I do want to go to the super chat donations real quick. Ty said 4'11". I don't even care how tall a woman is. Just make sure she ain't San Antonio big. All right. Thank you for sharing that. Drolic said the guy I'm talking to is 6 feet. The meme. And then I think Fatty said she is one of the only women I can say men are intimidated. Fits the bill. All right, no worries. Thank you so much, ladies, for your response to tonight's discussion. For the first topic in question, I do want to open up for you guys to bring up your topics in question that what you guys want to talk about. And I'll start with you, Sharon. Sharon, what's your topic in question they want to bring up? And then we'll just dive right into it.
One of the biggest topic I think right now is stereotypes.
Okay.
So okay. Yeah, stereotypes is in men and women in relationship. Things that men are allowed to do, women are not allowed to do, or things that women are allowed to do and men are not allowed to do. That's examples. Uh, men need to have the money. Woman doesn't need to be ambitious. To me, I think both need to. At this in this generation doesn't mean that you can have a woman who is out there working and a man can be a house husband too. It doesn't need to be that a woman needs to be at home and men has to be the one working. You can have both who knows how to do the household and both who knows how to cook. It doesn't need to be woman needs to know all that, and man doesn't need to know all those. And similarly, even in terms of loyalty, men can do whatever they want and then women can't do. I think we are in this generation where both can do whatever they want. If they really if they really don't think that this is not right, they can move. So stereotypes is something a very big topic in a relationship, where we tend to see that it really happens within men and women. A woman gets a choice to pick men also get the choice to pick women. What is the kind of woman they want, whether in terms of physical attributes or whether in terms of the woman's capability. Men has the choice to speak. So this is my personal opinion. I would love to hear from y'all. What is the kind of stereotypes that y'all hear usually from men and women, and what do y'all think?
All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Sharon. I'm going to add on some public guests real quick, and then you guys get a chance to respond. All right. And Lavon and Fatty, thank you for being a public guest. But ladies, I'll open up the topic that Sharon brought up, and I'll allow you guys to respond. She was talking about stereotypes, certain. I guess I think what you're talking about is like traditional roles, right? There's traditional roles for both men and women, what men are expected to do, and what women are expected to do. And then we live in modern times when those roles no more. It can be shared by both men and women. It doesn't necessarily have to be specific to a traditional gender. All right. So I'll start with you, Roxanne. What do you think about her topic about traditional roles, what men should do, what women should do?
As I've mentioned before, I personally think what a man does, a woman should not do.
Okay. Can you explain that a little bit more?
All right. For example, the man I give bun, the man is cheating, right? You might cheat and think you will get over it, or it would make you better. I mean, I have person who do it and they are better, but for me personally, I don't think I'm going to cheat. Or if I found out you're cheating, I'm going to cheat because you cheat. That doesn't make any sense. That won't make the relationship move on. You won't move on from certain things. You guys are going to totally have trust issues, because if you could go and cheat also as a female, then what else can you do? Like, as I always say, and I stated before, males will always be males, but a female should know what to do and have certain female roles, so guys can, I don't know, but people have their opinion, but that's my opinion. I don't think if my partner cheat, I'm going to cheat for say. We must can talk about things and work towards stuff, but nah, before I cheat, I probably just leave the relationship because it just don't make any sense.
Yeah. All right. No worries. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that, Roxanne. All right. I'll pass it on to you, Christine. Christine, what was your thoughts on Sharon's topic about traditional gender roles? What are your thoughts about that?
I agree with her when she said that there are certain household duties, chores that they can share, a couple can share. So yes, I strongly believe in that, especially because as far as I think, in my society, especially, women are given this place in the house where she is to do everything, not only for herself but for everyone else in the house, all the men and everyone, and they will not contribute in any manner. Instead, they will just increase the burden for you. And if you fail to fulfill the expectation, then you will face many issues, fightings, and arguments because you have not done your duty, and you are a woman, so you're expected to do that. And just that's they feel that that's what we are created for. Naturally, you are a woman, so your place is in the kitchen all the time to feed us, to clean for us, and to do everything for us. And I feel that that is not very fair. I mean, as a woman, we are gifted to do things in your own household way better than the men, of course, because maybe naturally you know how to do things. But it's always nice to have them help or not just increase the burden. Talking about the chores and just within the household. So yes, that's one of the stereotypes that I strongly feel that's unfair on females.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, Christine. Okay. And then Sharon, anything you want to add on? I know that was your topic, but I want to give you a chance to respond to your own question before I ask the public guests to add on to the conversation. So anything you want to add on to your topic, Sharon?
I know. I would love to listen from your feedback first.
All right, no worries. All right, yeah, I'll pass it on to our public guest. Thank you for jumping on real quick and being part of the conversation. But yeah, I'll start with you, Fatty. Fatty, what do you think? The ladies were bringing up um, the traditional roles. A lot of women that there's modern times. They can be their own provider, protector. They could be their own breadwinner. A lot of time, traditionally, women stayed home. They cook and clean. But now a lot of the men still prefer that in the woman in the relationship. They still cook and clean. But because a lot of women, they can work now, it's modern, and it does seem to, I think, a lot of the women's viewpoint, that can seem like it's unfair in that role. But what do you? But you're the guys, you're the men in this platform. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think about that from the men's perspective? Fatty, you go ahead.
What's up, Will? Hi, ladies. How are you? It really depends. I don't like the static stance of woman does everything on the home and men have to bring the money, especially on a society where men usually can't handle like one salary is not able to pay all the bills. I think if you are able to pay all the bills, you have leverage to tell your wife, hey, I pay all the bills, so you have to do the housework. I think if you are not able to pay all the bills, you have to negotiate. That's the reality. It's not even if I work 8 hours, you work 8 hours, we pay bills 50-50. I think it's not a fair deal for women. My problem with these double standards or gender roles is that women usually want to pick from both sides. They want to pick the best that they want they want like a traditional man. You have to protect me, you have to provide, and there's no negotiation about that. But sometimes I'll clean, sometimes I will make dinner, sometimes. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem. But if they are fair, if they are making money too, and if they are paying bills, because that's very important, because I know a lot of couples that both make money, but the man usually pays more bills and the woman gets the money and put it on in pocket and goes shopping, and she wants to make the same housework because they work both 8 hours. I think there needs to be a balance. If a man is able to make a lot of money, I think women should comply, and I think most of them will happily comply because they will have to work less and they can have time for the kids to wash. If they both work, as long as the money disparity is not a lot, because that's most cases, a lot of guys might work 8 hours, but they have more. They earn more money than the woman. I think that way there's need to be a negotiation, and that's fair for both.
Okay, all right, no worries. So thank you for sharing that, Fatty. Lavon, I pass it to you. What do you think, man? What do you think about traditional roles? What do you think?
Nowadays, I mean, this is 2022, so I mean, women be out here working just as hard as men does. I don't think that there's, this is not the 1800s. This is 2022. So, I mean, if a woman wants to go out there and work, make her own money, get her own car, get her own house, what have you, that woman has the right to do so. I mean, that's what, we have our rights for. That's what the Constitution and all the stuff that, was fought in the past was for. Equal rights and everything for women, men, what have you. I agree with what Fatty was saying and everything. I agree with what Fatty was saying.
Are you willing to be an house husband, Lavon, if your wife gets a lot of money?
I wouldn't.
That was the exact question I was having for Fatty.
Don't be scared.
Bro, keep it real, Lavon. Keep it real, man.
Huh? I was not.
Keep it real.
I can't really see myself being a house husband, but if it came to that point for a short-term period, then yes, I'm willing to do so.
Come on, Lavon. It's 2022. He's not the 180s. Come on.
Hey.
You see? You see the double standards where we talk about it?
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, I could only see myself being a house husband for a short period of time. I can't. Yeah, I'm always used to out there, making money and everything, working, what have you. Because right now I work 9 hours a day, certain days, other days like 12, 13 hours. So yeah, I'm basically kind of set in my ways with that.
Okay, all right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Lavon. I do want to add on my piece, and I kind of disagree ultimately what everybody said. I think when it comes to the roles of what we do in a relationship, I think that's still derived from our biology based on what we prefer to do depending on a man's masculinity to his degree. I know a lot of times a lot of women would say, if we both work the same type of job, and that means we have to share the household work. If we both make the same, we work the same, or make the same amount of money, then we should share the cooking and cleaning. So my question I want to ask the ladies real quick. Okay, that's fine. I can agree with that if you guys want to negotiate the cooking and cleaning. But this is what the question I want to ask the ladies. Ladies, would you, if you guys go in a relationship with a man, you guys both work the same amount of time, make the same type of money, and then you want to open up the negotiation for the cooking and cleaning, you want to go 50-50. But my question for you guys is, would you guys also be open to go 50-50 with all the mowing the lawn, the working outside, throwing out the trash, cleaning the gutter, if the pipe breaks, if the plumbing breaks down, if the toilet gets clogged up, which is usually the roles that traditionally the woman would expect the man to do. So since you guys are wanting to negotiate the traditional female role, are you guys open to negotiate with the guys that did the traditional male roles? So you guys, we have to also, some days we have to go out and mow the lawn at 100 degrees in the summer. Some days I want you to climb that ladder to 7-8 feet above the house and clean up the gutter and risk your life.
Plowing snow if you live in Minnesota.
There's a snow, there's a hurricane, there's some natural disaster. If a burglar jumps in and breaks into the house and puts the family in danger, are you guys? The guy's like, hey, your turn. Go and handle that 6 foot, 250-pound burglar inside our house. that wants to slaughter everybody on here and put our family in danger. So my question, ladies, is: are you guys open to negotiate those roles as well? If you want the man to negotiate the cooking, cleaning, which is okay, but you also have to be open to negotiate the traditional male roles and responsibilities also in the household. So that's the question I want to ask the ladies. I'll start with you, Sharon.
To me, actually, why not? Because I do all those stuff also. So for me, it's really nothing. I also I mean, if you ask me to do the plumbing, yes, I do the plumbing. If the guy can't do, if he's sick, what's not? Do I have to tell him, oh, you are sick?
No, not if it's
I mean,
sick.
for me,
If
why
it's
not?
gonna be 50-50.
Because in this at this moment, we also have women out there who are leaders, who have jobs which has this kind of physical attributes, which requires this kind, like we have women who are engineers, we have women who are politicians, you see. So if a woman is willing to negotiate, where she is able to also do those kind of work, so for me, it's why not? We can still have the equality over there.
The plumbing jobs.
But here's my question.
Why can't a woman do a plumbing job, or why can't she?
No, I'm not asking why. I'm asking, are you going to do the plumbing jobs and plowing snow and put pavement on the street?
Yeah, actually,
and
apart from my media role, I also work in the facility sector.
Mhm.
So because in over here, most of the artists over here, we are freelancers. I work in the facility sector. If the building cut short, we do also go in and do those stuff. So for me, it's nothing.
So if
But
if the tire blows, and the last time the tire blew out, your husband did the reparation. Now it's your turn.
If he can't do it, then I can also learn how to do it.
No. He can do it. He can do it, but he's asking if it was my turn. Now it's your turn. Are you?
I mean, for me, I don't mind doing it.
Do you want it?
Do you want to do it?
Do you want to do it?
I'm cool. I'm honestly, I'm cool.
Ooh, yeah.
So the thing is, yeah, I'm really cool. But the thing is, vice versa. I mean, whether the man is okay, like what you said, if a woman is over there, out there working, is a man willing to be a house husband?
Yeah, like we all agreed. What I'm saying, if the guy wants to be a house husband, that's fine. Like, there's guys out there that want to do that. But what we're saying is, if the roles are gonna be negotiated, and it's your turn, you're gonna be willingly be able to do it with no any kind of ill feelings about it. Because a lot of women would say they want to do it until they do it, and then feel some type of way about it and bring it up in a relationship, or want to cause an argument or issue because it's not what she really wanted to do. So that's the problem. If you wanted to do it, there's no complaints later. There is no complaint. There's no arguments later. It's just something that was negotiated. But that's the thing is, for a lot of women, is they will say these things until they go out there. And also, like, have you ever, Sharon, have you ever like had to like defend the danger of your family before against a full grown male that was trying to like attack? Have you ever done that before?
I stay in a very safe country, so I'm not sure about attacking. But if there is a means where I need to protect my partner, yes, I will. But the thing is that, okay, leave my opinion aside, because I'm a believer of equality. So if a man can do, a woman can do. That's for me. If a man can negotiate for you to go out there to protect the family, a woman should also.
Sharon, that's not the point. That's not the point he's asking. For example, me and you are both at home. Will is a burglar. He comes inside the house. I get Will. Next week, Lavon gets inside the house, and I say, "Hey, last time was me, so now you go." Most women would get extremely resentful.
Lavon has a knife.
Lavon has a knife. Most women would get extremely resentful because the man is not doing his job. So it's not about you going there, it's about the repercussions that happens before. Because if you and my kid run, everything is okay. You ran from danger. But if I jump out of the window and I leave you with Lavon or Will, you know there's going to be trouble next day if you'll be alive. You know that, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's what he's asking.
Hospital, you You lost a limb. You lost a limb. You know what I'm saying?
Or
For most
worse.
men, for most men, if we defend our family and, and something happens to our body or something, like we understand that's just part of being a man, right? And but the thing is, for women, if this is what you guys want, you want 50-50, then if you do that, a lot of women will say, you know what, my man's being a little B, my man's weak. You know what, my man didn't step up for me, for my family. I'm gonna go find a better guy that can do that for me. But that's the deal you negotiated. Does that make sense? But yeah, thank you for sharing that, Sharon. I want to pass it on to Roxanne. Roxanne, what do you think? Same thing. The same question to you. You both work the same amount of time and effort. The guy's like, you know what? I'll cook and clean 50-50. I agree with that. But can we negotiate on my roles as a man as well? Would you be okay with that, Roxanne?
I think I'll be okay with it, but thinking of it, a male's job around the household supposed to just be a male job. A female's job is supposed to be a female job. But I think I want to do a 50-50 also, because what if it's a case where you leave for a couple of days or whatever? I am supposed to be able to do stuff around the house that you were doing or whatever. And the same thing for me. If I'm supposed to leave, you are supposed to be able to do stuff and do it. I mean, it's a 50-50, but then you can't really say 50-50 because a woman isn't really going to go outside and do the lawn and
exactly.
That's
no,
the point.
that's just the males.
It's never 50-50. It's always 60-40 or 70-40.
It can be like a 70-30 or something,
but it's always like that because the man's job is fixing
yeah,
stuff.
a
The woman's
male's
job,
job is supposed to be a male's job. A female's job is supposed to be a female's job. But for example, lawn or whatever, I wouldn't want to go outside all the time. I can do it sometime, but not all the time. A male isn't going to want to come home and clean and whatever. No, the female can do that. Laundry, both of you can do laundry.
No,
that doesn't really matter.
No, I won't do that.
What?
If I don't come home and you are not on the roof fixing something, I'm not going to do the laundry.
I mean,
that's a fair deal.
No. You have to think about that part. Because what if I'm working, you are working, you come in before me, and you are going to see the clothes. Remember, I know you wear clothes, I wear clothes. You are going to see the laundry there, and you do not do the laundry, and I'm going to come in after just to do the laundry. The house is already clean. For example, we cooked in the morning, you can have for dinner, a cook or whatever. I mean, you can do it now and then. You don't have to do it all the time, but that part I think can be a 50-50.
What we're trying to explain, ladies, I think Fatty was brought it up. Oftentimes, like this 50-50 thing doesn't exist. It's what Fatty said. Women only like a lot of times the women only pick the ones that they want, the roles that they like, and then the one they don't like, they want the man to do it. But that's the problem with the men is like, you're saying we want equality, you're saying you want 50-50, but it's not really equality if we're not opening up all the responsibilities, but just the ones that you want to do, and the ones that you don't want to do, it's 100% on us, which is not the definition of equality. So that's what we're just saying is it's not truly equality if I still have to do traditional roles, right? So that's just the problem that we see. And then Christine, I'll pass it to you. Christine, what do you think about equality? Is it really true? And if it's true, like, are you open to do all the roles 50-50, even the traditional male roles of going outside, protecting the family, there's a burglar in the house, or what do you think? Go ahead, Christine.
As far as I think personally, if we have a deal and we decide to share the roles, you don't have a way out. You will have to do it. Because if you expect someone your man to do the house chores that usually ladies do, then yes, if he tells you that it's your turn to go outside and do something, You have to, and because you've made the deal, and I think it is just right. That's the right thing to do. You don't run away from it. It's just unfair, and because as Roxanne said that you have to know this outside, because there are certain times we are alone. I agree with that, but that's just a short-term solution. I feel that we should know and not characterize it as men's and women's role in the household, around the house, but it cannot always be in a relationship or be with someone. There are certain times in life you'll be alone, and God forbids. And I mean, if further on in your life when you get old, or your partner has passed away, or you have broken up with someone and you decide not to go in any relationship for a long time. So these are the jobs I feel that we should do it on your own. And as far as I'm concerned personally, yes, well, I'm open to sharing it with him. And the reality of equality, I feel that yes, it's certain times it's 60-40, 70-30, because that's the perks when men pursue women. She gets her advantage.
All right.
So,
All right. No worries, Christine. Thank you for sharing. And Christine, if you don't mind, your mic is kind of low a little bit, the audio quality. So I don't know if there's something you can do to kind of increase that. But thank you so much, Christine, for sharing that. I'm going to go over some comments real quick. I see Pawanjit Sin. Shout out to her. That's the first time I see you in the live chat. Thank you for being here for the first time. She said there are some roles where a man will have to take the lead and vice versa, the women as well. Thank you so much for sharing, Pawanchi Sinj. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you love the content. Lansford Anderson said, but you have women who loves to do males work and males that do as a woman. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think Drolix said, app cap 50-50 when it's convenient to them. Thank you for sharing that. And then Ty said, Will, just ask the women on the panel if they need to change the blinker fluid, then you have your answer. All right, no worries. All right, but nevertheless, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing it. We do have a new public guest, Daniela. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know you wanted to add on to the conversation of the 50-50 and in having equality within our roles. What do you think?
Newsflash, men and women will never be equal in relationships. So when we talk about 50-50 in terms of effort, it's a fairy tale. And the reason why I believe in that sort of sense is that women are finding it harder to date men nowadays because there's a lot of men who are using exactly your fight for equality to not step up to the plate. Okay, you can provide. You can go out and get the job, so why do I need to? I'm only here to have a good time and then I'll leave. The reason why I believe in the gender role is that we need to incentivize men to learn their responsibility within relationship and within family dynamics, so that at least they aim the direction of their life towards working for that sort of specific responsibility. If we tell men, women can do it too. They can go out and work in the dangerous jobs. They can go out and earn their own money. What incentivizes the man to be in a relationship if you can do that too? Obviously, sex is going to be an incentive, but that's not strong enough for the male to stay around. So, not only that, I think I heard the ladies were talking about, preference in men, and some inkling there. There were mentioning of someone who has leadership qualities and all of these things. So if you are dating a man with leadership quality, knows exactly what he wants out of the relationship, is honest, and he communicates all these requirements to you, he is not going to, let's say, entertain 50-50. He will know exactly what he brings to the table, and he will require the same thing from your end. And those things aren't 50-50. I mean, even if you look at same-sex marriages and relationship, one is always doing either a masculine role where they predominantly go into that role, where the other one is quite feminine and fulfills that purpose. So regardless of whatever the dynamic that we look at, there is a big importance of why men need to follow a certain responsibility. This whole thing of, I only do this and this is what I do, that's not how a relationship works. Men will step in and help their wives in certain areas of their life to make life a little bit easier and the relationship to move forward. Same as women. The women will hold the flashlight while you fix the car and hand you your hammer or whatever it is. Those are understandable roles that we share within relationship. But responsibility-wise, we have to make it clear for men and women, these are the responsibility that you have to take up. It's a must. In order for the relationship to move forward and to work, these are the responsibilities you have to take up. So,
all right, no worries.
I just wanted to add on that.
What if they work the same hours, Daniela, and get the same money?
Who? And what specific?
Man and woman go out to work 8 hours. They get both $2,000. They come home at the same hour. Is that room for negotiation, or there's gender roles and the woman is going to cook, clean?
Yeah. So here's the problem with both couples working the same hours, earning the same amount of money. One of the biggest dynamic that people often neglect in relationship that makes relationship work as great as it is sex and time with each other. So if you're not having time to spend with each other and not having time spent having sex and enjoying that bond that you have, that relationship is going to be problematic. And oftentimes, it's the women that will leave the relationship to find where they can create that balance. Because as much as we like to talk about men wanting sex, I'm pretty sure most women would prefer a partner who are able to have good sex with them over someone who doesn't.
Okay. All right. No worries, Danielle. Thank you for sharing that. I wanted to give a lot of ladies respond. Ladies, what do any of you guys wanted to respond based on what the fella said? You guys got a chance to hear from the male perspective. Anybody wanted to respond?
Do you know what the blinker fluid is? The blinker fluid, do you know, on the car?
Someone asked about that.
Yeah, do you know it? What it is?
To me, no.
Roxanne, do you know it? You see, this is the problem with the 50-50 stuff. Blinker fluid doesn't exist. It's a joke about the blinker on the car. Go get some blinker fluid. And the woman goes to the store asking for blinker fluid, and the blinker fluid doesn't exist. This is the problem with the 50-50 stuff, is that most women say that they are willing to do, but they really don't understand what that entails.
All right, no worries. Yeah, but thank you for sharing that, you guys. Thank you, Sharon, for bringing up a topic, because it's a topic that's often discussed. I see all the time on social media, 50-50, which is, I think it's a more of a modern term, a modern way of seeing things, relationships. But oftentimes we see, especially if you're living in America, like the divorce rate is terrible. Like we get 50%, over 50%. So it's like the traditional roles back in the 60s to 50s, the divorce rate was low. People were in marriages, but now in modern times where the roles are open, but we can do whatever we want. But the problem is the results, what that's showing is like people are getting divorced and people are not staying in relationships, even in this modern traditional role. So it's like it's not really working. But thank you for being open for discussion. We got a chance to hear from both sides. Thank you for everybody on the live chat. Thank you for sharing it. And I'll pass it on to you. Thank you, Sharon, for that topic. I'll pass it on to you, Christine. Christine, what's your topic and what's your question you want to bring up? And then we'll go right into it.
My question is something in regards to my society. It must be very common with the couples in America or other parts of the world. And I'd like to know if living in a relationship, when you're in a living relationship, will that help you understand each other better or no?
Okay, so living together in a relationship, would that help you?
Before you proceed to get married, before you take another step, living together and understanding each other well, does that really work?
Okay, all right. So ladies, yeah. So the question Christine's asking: does living together before getting married, does that help strengthen the bond and the commitment in the relationship before you guys get married. All right. So I'll start with you, Roxanne. What do you think, Roxanne? Should people move in together before they get married, or should they stay apart and they only move in until once they get married? What do you think?
All right. I personally think you don't necessarily have to live with the person. You can go and come. You can visit. You can come over to my house. I can come to your house, and we see what is what. But living together with the person, I mean, some people don't have a big deal. They can go through whatever you're going through there. But some people need personal space also to deal with things. If it's just so new, you're just moving in with someone to, you know, a relationship or whatever, you are going to need your space, because most of the persons in relationship now, they are living together and they don't talk to each other and whatever. Instead of not talking, you can go somewhere else. You can have space to breathe. You can have, you know, time to think things, and then you can get together. But if you're married, or if you're going to just jump to say you're going to a marriage or whatever, you should tough things out together. And so, but you know, I don't think you should just jump and live with somebody. And I think you should know the person. You can go and come, have little time with each other, and spend a month or two, or maybe that's too much, and go home. Let the person miss you too. You can't, you know, let the person think and say, is this what I want? And you know, that's just my
All right.
opinion.
No worries. And before I ask Sharon, I want to ask you, Roxanne, like to you, what's like the biggest pro, like positive from moving in together? If there is one, according to you. If not, then you don't have. Then that's fine as
The
well.
biggest,
Pro.
let
And if
me see.
there's not, if you don't believe in it, that's okay as well. If you don't think so.
I do believe in it, but you know, just personal space, or not jumping or rushing things. You just take your time. But for me, I work, my partner work, and he has his apartment. I have my apartment. Well, I have my house. He has his house. Most of the times I'm there. Sometimes I come home. You know, he wants his space, as I said, and I need my space. Or sometimes it's, as I said, you think if you want this, if this is what you're going to work towards, if this person is somebody who you can live with, and so. But for me now, there is nothing. I think I'd spoil my boyfriend. I don't think he'd do anything really in the house, because I'm a person where if I put something there, so I want it there, and I'm going to do. I personally believe a female's job is a female's job. You should do things around the house. Not saying you can't cook or whatever. You can do that, because everybody has to eat. Not all the time I'm going to cook, but I mean, I don't have a problem, because I'll get things done. But I don't know. Some females might take it as a burden, but that is just my belief. I personally think you're the female for the house, even though them say the man of the house or whatever, but you make the house a home.
Okay. All right. No worries. All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Roxanne. I'm just gonna read out some comments and I'll pass it to you, Sharon. I think Ty said, men and women need to date for a long time before pursuing marriage. I don't even suggest co-inhabiting for a few years. I do want to read out a comment for Fatal Stern. You can date for years and it isn't enough to know the person. Thank you so much for sharing that comment. Novdralix, he shared, guys, just visit her house, especially her bathroom and bedroom. That should tell you everything you need to know of what the future will be like. living together. Oh, that's a great point. All right. How they, their hygiene, how they keep their house together. All right, no worries. Yeah, I'll pass it to Sharon. Sharon, what do you think about Christine's topic? She said, what do you think about living it together before you get married?
This is a very wide topic. Of like people across the generations have believed it differently. Last time they believed in a lot of arranged marriages, and after that it became love marriage, and then right now it is don't even marry. Now people just prefer to just live in have live-in relationship. I agree in the point to the point where people, you can have a long-term relationship and marry without having inhabitation.
Yeah.
You can also have a live-in relationship, but the most important is whether are you getting to know your partner, because that is the biggest topic. You can live in you can have a live-in relationship and don't know anything about your partner. You can also have a long-term relationship and also don't know anything about your partner. The most important thing is whether it's live-in or whether it is a long-term where you don't need to live in and have a marriage. It is very important for partners to understand each other before they marry, because that is the main thing about marriage, whether to look at each other's qualities. It doesn't really matter whether it's live-in before marriage or it is long-term before marriage.
Okay.
That's
All
that's
right.
my perspective.
All right. Okay. And then obviously you don't. Are you more? You don't. I guess you don't. You don't believe in it, right, Sharon? You don't believe in living together before getting
No,
married.
I didn't say that I don't believe in live-in. I'm okay with living relationship before marriage, and I'm also okay with not living in before marriage. The main thing in relationships right now is communication between the partner and really understanding each other, because a lot of marriages actually fall out when once they marry is that gap where they have that bridge in that communication during the relationship, in really understanding the partner, like really understanding how they are, how their background is, and how they really live in their house. So that,
Yeah.
yeah, that is something. You do not need to live with the person. You can live with the person, and you may not need to. There have been a lot of successful marriage that has also happened without living in with the partner, and there also have been successful marriages living in with the partner.
Is that
And
even a marriage if you're not living with the person?
is there? I mean, to me, it is. It
Isn't
is
it
fine
boyfriend and
both
girlfriend?
ways. It's fine both ways, because you can be okay. For me, I'm okay with you living in as boyfriend and girlfriend with before marriage, and I'm also okay with the fact with people who do not want to live in before marriage. But the most important is whether you live in with the partner or you don't live in with the partner. The question is, do you really take the effort to understand the partner before marriage? That is the most important thing in the relationship.
Do you believe there's more? What do you believe? Do you believe there's more problems or more positive or more negatives when it comes to living in or don't live in? Like, according to you, are there more pros or are there more cons from living together before marriage?
I'm okay with living together before marriage. So
No, no, I'm not saying it's.
it's really
I'm okay with what's like what is there more negatives than living together, or are there more positives?
it's something I won't be able to weigh. um, yeah, I mean,
What do you like? What do you prefer?
I don't think so.
For
It's
yourself?
something that we are able to weigh in terms of if you live in, then positive. Yes, maybe positive in the sense that you really understand how they go by day to day, and there's also chances that you still don't understand them even after you live in before marriage. So
Okay.
that is, yeah, it's really something to weigh. I can't exactly say that which is positive or which is negative in this.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Sharon. Appreciate that. But I wanted to ask Christine. Christine, what do you think? You got a chance to hear from the ladies. Anything you want to add on, Christine, from the ladies before I pass it to the fellas?
As far as I could make out, both of the ladies they're okay with either ways, and more towards not living in. But as far as I think, it's not a need to live with each other. Sorry, but if you do get an opportunity, I think it is very wise and practical to do so, because that's how you will understand how your day goes by when you wake up in the morning, and if you share a bathroom with your partner, how long they take time, and to get dressed, to how they do things, how they communicate with people, where they're off to during the evenings, or everything they do. And that's how, you have to see the compatibility of living together in the same house. So I feel that it is important, not a necessity, but it's a plus point if you do so, and then you can decide that this is what you're going to do the rest of your life. And do you want to? Can you be compatible? Are you able to cope up with that way of living? I would say practically. So yes, if you do get an opportunity, that's what I feel that living together will really help you know each other in terms of physicality.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Christine, and thank you for everybody on the live chat. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Appreciate all your feedback on the live chat. And of course, I'll pass it to the fellas. What do you guys think about it? Fatty, what's your thoughts about it? Men and women moving in together before marriage. Is it good? Is it bad? What do you think?
I think women say a lot of things that they really don't. They really don't follow up. Like, you are not okay with not living with your future husband, especially if he has a nice house. All of a sudden, you started to, oh, I forgot my toothbrush. Oh, I forgot my. Most women, if they have a future husband or someone that has his life together and has already a nice house, they will start to resent him if he doesn't want to join both houses and you come live with me. I am not need to pay my rent, so we are going to. Usually, women go for the easiest. The man is there to provide her an easier life, and being on separate houses usually don't work like that. And Roxanne is saying he's doing that.
No,
Roxanne,
no, 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 no.
no, I'm telling you, if you get
You
a
have
guy,
independent women who know what they want, and you have women who depend on men.
of course, Roxanne, that's of course. I'm not telling you that women are leeches. This is normal behavior. Imagine you are dating me. I have an house with a big pool, 4 rooms, everything. And you come every single week to my house. At some point, you are going to start, hey, if this is serious, I want to live with you. I'm not here to just be your girlfriend and then come back to my one apartment room and I still have to pay the bills. The woman usually start to resent men about that. That's why women say men don't want to give commitment. The commitment is that, come here, let me take care of you. Let me give you my last name. That's the commitment. And for the answer, just to be quick, you have to go on long vacations. That's the first step. Like 1 week, 10 days, because you start to see a lot of things that you don't see when you just start dating and you are coming in and out. Because the hygiene is perfect. Every single time you come here, oh, let me clean my room. Oh, let me wash my teeth. But when you start to get together, you understand what that person is really about. So long vacations are the first step. Then if you are going to get married, you really need to live together before, because everything is great when you are boyfriend and girlfriend and you see each other 3 or 4 times a week. When you start to sleep with the person and he snores, that's when the problem starts. So when he goes to the bathroom and is everything, you really start to see the ugly side of the relationship. So if it will be really stupid unless you are on the relationship like an arranged marriage that is done, is final, there's no way to divorce, you really need to do it, because you only know one person when you are living together. And like someone said on the comments, sometimes you sleep with 5 years with a person on the next door, on the same bed, and you really don't know it. So it's better to do it before the marriage.
All right. No worries. Thank you, Fatty. I'll pass it on to you, Daniel. Daniel, what do you think? Is it a good idea does it build strong relationships if they move in together before getting married?
Yeah. So ultimately, yes, but it depends on a couple of conditions. So most relationship that tends to end up working in the end with a live-in situation is usually the men initiate this phase. So if the man is asking you move in with me, that relationship tend to move a lot more smoother because there are a few things that said man is trying to establish. But and what Fatty was saying, you really don't know a person until you can wake up the next morning with said person and there's nowhere to run. Right? Relationships are hard, extremely hard, and those issues are multiplied when you live in together. So if you're thinking long-term relationship, marriage, and all the fun things that comes with it, live-in is a big part of that process. And you don't get to have a fight and get up and run away. That's not how relationships work. You are forced to be there and confront those problems, whether you like it or not, regardless of how ugly it looks on the outside. These are the things that you need to work out. There are even different things that you need to learn how to compromise with your partner. As men, we tend to be pigs, and we tend to leave shit all over the place. So for a woman to come into a relationship, she needs to understand and know, okay, this is something that he does out of habit. Am I going to tolerate that? Is that something that I see myself doing for the next 10, 20, 30, 50 years for the rest of our lives? Me serving him as breakfast, let's say, in the toilet while he takes his morning dump. Is that something that I'm going to find disgusting, or is that something that I'm going to tolerate and compromise because that's the man I decide to be with? So a live-in situation not only benefits the woman, but it benefits the man in general, in the sense that if you are living with your partner and you find it harder and harder to come home, it's probably not the right woman for you in terms of a long-term relationship. Because as what the women were mentioning, as men, we can't create homes. We built the home, but the woman comes into the home and makes it what it is, and what truly makes us want to come home, want to be around you, have children with you. That's a thing that we cannot do. And if you're finding yourself as a man coming home and you really don't want to come home, there's a deeper message within that. And it's up to you to whether you want to solve it by leaving or work with it. But instead of going on mumbling and whatnot, it's vital. Like Fatty's saying, it's absolutely vital for you to learn your partner, and you can't learn that from the house next door or whatnot. You have to really figure out who this person is. And part of it is communication. Part of it is being aware of what they do, what their habits, and all of those things. So I advise it because I've been with my wife now for almost 7 years, and as soon as I said to her, I'm over dating you, I want to be in a relationship with you, I want to fully commit to you, it didn't even take us months, and I asked her to move in. And that was to cement whether this woman is truly the woman for me or not. And I can only gauge that with me living with her.
All right. No worries. Thank you so much, Danielle, for sharing that. I'm going to pass on to Lavon. Anything you want to add on to moving in together real quick?
Yeah, I agree with Fatty. I agree with Tanella. You can never really know someone right off the bat. I mean, when you first meet somebody, it takes time. You're not going to see their true colors. You're not going to see their true intentions until somewhere later on down the line. As far as like going straight moving in, I would say that, it has to be a slow process with that. You have your place, that person has their place. You spend, a certain amount of time at their place, vice versa. Of course, that's something that I did. And I mean, by doing it that way, I believe that y'all can get to know each other better, without rushing anything. But when you do make this decision to actually move in together, then y'all will begin to, understand each other on a different level than what y'all already had before. And like Tanella was basically saying, that would ultimately tell you whether whether you actually belong together or not. I mean, if you start having issues, as far like he said, with not want to come home or whatever, then that's a dead red flag right there. Okay, this is not working. Either we need to come to some kind of compromise, fix the issue, figure out what the issue is, see if we can fix the issue. If not, then split, go your different ways.
All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Levon. I want to bring it back to the ladies, but I want to ask the ladies real quick. Have you guys ever moved in together with a partner in the past or currently? And how was that experience for you? I'm just interested to hear that. Did any of you ladies ever move in with your partner? And how was that experience? Did you guys ever do that before? All right, so okay, no worries. All right,
it's a bit of a private private thing, but okay. Yes, I have. And I even after and it didn't end well before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, okay, should I answer you? It didn't end well because even though while living with a person, you don't really 100% know the person. Sometimes they are just doing things behind your back, and you only end up finding out later. So that was one of a very bad experience that I have ever had before. So to answer the question whether it went well, no, it didn't go well previously. Yeah, sorry. I can't exactly say much
interject and
more.
ask a question, Sharon?
Sorry?
Daniela had a
Can I
question
ask
for you.
just
Yeah,
just
sure.
a quick question. Yeah. Who initiated the live-in situation? Was it you or was it him?
Who asked to move in? Was it you or him?
I think
Don't say mutual, please. Don't say mutual, please.
Like,
I can't exactly
who was
remember.
the one that brought up? Yeah, who brought it up as a discussion? Was it you or was it him?
I can't remember actually who exactly. Yeah.
Okay, it's all right. It's all right. No worries.
Okay, but just to point something, I actually love Fatty's answers. You have very good answers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
You have,
I'm
I mean, you have very good opinions, and I do agree to quite a lot of your opinions.
It's because I'm running from marriage, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm running from a relationship, so I know I know what to avoid.
Keep
all
going,
right.
Fatty.
All right, no worries. I saw this the topic of moving in together. I did see a viral video on TikTok. I want to bring it up real quick since we're talking about this topic. Do you think there's any risk of doing that? Because a lot of, I guess the people who oppose it what they would say is, what's the purpose of getting married if we're gonna do all things that what married people do? What's the purpose of even doing it? So I think when I watched the video, somebody said like, okay, if you move in with the guy and he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing that you would do in a marriage, what's gonna incentivize him to get married? If your guy's already living in together, he's already paying all the bills, he's already doing everything. Like, why would he want to get married? What's the point? I just want to throw that question up out there because I do see that's the point of view. Because a lot of guys are like, okay, what's the point of getting married? I'm already here. We're living together. We're having sex. Possibly there's children. We're doing everything that married people are doing. Like, why do I need to marry? Like, we're already here. So I just want to throw that out there. What do you guys think about it? Because I did see that somebody brought that up in the video I saw. Why they were saying is why you should move in together, so the man is incentivized to give you that ring. But if you guys moving together, the guy might be like, we're already doing everything that married people are doing, so there's no point of getting married. Even though a lot of women want to get married, want to get wifed out. I'll open up for all you guys real quick. What do you guys think about that topic? Is there some truth to it? You don't think there's some truth to it? But anybody wants to go first? Go ahead.
It's like a ring. Not
Uh,
it's not like
go ahead, Fanny. Comes to you, Levon. Go ahead.
I think it's like the ring. Like for a man to ask a woman to live with him is like the proof of love. I know this is going to be more problematic than it should. I already am having the privileges of a wife. She's cooking for me. She comes here. We have sex. Da, 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 da. I think the ring, the wedding, and the moving part is is a man doing an extra step that he shouldn't do, that he shouldn't, and he didn't need to do. So it's the proof of love. I think it's more. He's more no. He's 100% about the man showing that he's committed to the woman. I think it's the. It has nothing to do with the benefits. It has anything to do with if she cooks her. I think it's like a proof that I am here to commit with you. So I'm going to sacrifice this part, this space, my time, my patience, to show you that I want to be with you more than we already are.
Okay, thank you, Fanny. I'm gonna flip it to the ladies. Ladies, what do you guys think about that? Moving in together, and what's the point of getting married if you guys already doing all the marriage things already? What do you guys think about that, ladies?
I agree to what Patty say. By the way, is that your name, Patty? Is there a better way to call you?
It's every single podcast that I go. Just call me Fatty. I don't know.
Okay. Call him mutually fatty.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I agree to him. And there are a lot of people who actually live in and they don't get married. Yeah, what's the point of marriage? Is just a vow to commitment. And some people, they do live in and they still have commitment. They just don't want to have it in papers. Or they don't want to.
All right. No more.
I don't think there's anything wrong about that, though.
Wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Pass it to the fellas. Levon, I know you wanted to say something. Go ahead, Levon.
Yeah. I think it actually depends on the individual. I mean, people have their different opinions on how they, want to go about life, with relationship and being married. I've ran into people that, does want to get married. I've ran into people that don't want to get married. Like this one particular person about 2 months ago, maybe, said that they don't see themselves as the marrying type because, getting married because their belief is marriage leads to divorce. Which I'm not gonna, debate on that. Like that's your opinion. I can't change your point of view or not like that. Hell, I'm not even sure, 100% sure if I want to get married, or not. I mean, I'm thinking about it. But everybody can change their mind at a certain point in time. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And people mind change. It's just like say like right now, say Roxanne for example, whatever, Roxanne and say Fatty could be dating right now, whatever. Okay, I want to get married, this that. But then later on down the line, there could be some, kind of differences that, draw them apart where, okay, I don't feel like, I want to get married again. I don't think this, working. It could be any type of scenario like that.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you, Levon. And I want to pass Roxanne and Christine. Anything want to add on to that? If people move in together, what's the purpose of getting married? If you guys are already doing married things, what do you guys think about that?
Being together is okay. Marriage is a big step. A totally big step, because when you're married now, I mean, you are already committed to the person, but some person don't believe in marriage. You can't rush it. But who wouldn't want to get married? You're moving with a person, not at the same time, but it should be considered. So I don't know.
No worries. Thank you, Roxanne, and then Christine. What do you think?
For me, I think that's where morality comes in.
Yeah.
Because yes, women get this sense of belongingness if they marry the person whoever she is living with or in a relationship with, because that's I mean living with. So that's sort of purity, belongingness, and in the society where I am in, that's what is preferred by the family. And as I said, it's a bit primitive. So yes, um, legality, I think that's important, so that you can have future investments together, get things done together. So it's always good to have that done on a um, legal side. But when it comes to morality, yes, I think having someone you live with, it's another. Just just living with them, it's not the end, not the end of the relationship stages. So yes, marriage is a whole new level, and that's when you get to, as far as my society is concerned, that's when you get to have these formal guests over, family of each other as a married couple. So I feel that somewhat yes.
All right. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Christine. And I see Valiant Thor for the first time on this podcast. Shout out to Valiant Thor. Valiant Thor said, "Not getting married in your 20s and 30s is like missing out on buying the last ticket for the Titanic." All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing it, and thank you for being on the live chat on the show for the first time. And then just to get the final thoughts from Daniela before we conclude. Daniela, anything you want to add on based on what I just shared? A lot of people would say, "What's the point of getting married if you're already doing married things?"
Yeah, yeah. We've confused marriage so much to the point where marriage is seen now as the ultimate commitment, right? Whereas I completely disagree. That's why I differentiate dating and relationship altogether. If I'm dating you, I'm not exclusive to you. You're not the only person I'm talking to. You're not the only person I'm entertaining. But if I'm in a relationship with you, that's it. I'm committed to you until otherwise. And I see my view of marriage as a celebration of the love that has been put in, the work that has been put in, the compromises that has been put in into the relationship to reach a certain point. So I've shared this multiple times in the podcast. Marriage for me and my wife is 10 years. The 10-year anniversary that marks the 10 year of us being together in the relationship is going to be the year that we get married. And it's not because I'm saying to her, I'm finally committed to you. No. The day I ask you out is the day I commit to you. And we're now celebrating this, and I want our children to also enjoy this process and have something to look forward to. People who see marriage as the final act of commitment often also use that as an excuse to walk out of a relationship, because I didn't put a ring on your finger. I'm not married to you. Why should I be this committed to you when I haven't married you? Whereas I completely disagree with that sort of notion. Yes, I understand that I act and behave and do things and even call my partner my wife, but I'm not married to her. But that's because my commitment and my loyalty to her started from the day that I asked her out. We've been dating for an extended period of time. That time was between 9-12 months. I can see myself having a future with you, and I'm willing to commit to you from this day forward. So if you want to do the same, let's work on it. But I'm not going to marry you just because I want to prove to you that I love you. The proof is me working, constantly going to fulfill my responsibility, making sure that your cup is filled, that you have the attention and the attraction that you need, vice versa. That's a proof that you need. That's a proof of love that you need, not a physical manifestation of a marketing team who's trying to sell you the whole dream of getting married as the ultimate goal. No. The ultimate goal is a man fully committed to you with or without a ring. So, yeah, I understand the argument of, well, what's the point of getting married? Well, the point of getting married is to celebrate the hard work that you put into the relationship and the results that you get from it. That's the point of marriage to me.
All
It's
right.
not a end destination. It's not an end destination, right? That's how most people look at marriage. It's the final act for the new life that we commit. No, it's a constant journey, and marriage just seems to be a little milestone in that journey.
All right. No worries. Thank you so much. Lansford Anderson said, preach. Daniela preaching right now. That's why we call them Tong and Samuels, y'all. Thank you, Daniela.
I thought he was going to say this is a journey and the marriage is the iceberg at the end.
No worries.
Well, for some,
Valiant
that's
Force
true.
said, the last couple comments real quick before we conclude. Valiant Thor said, for a large percentage of modern women, marriage is like a dream job. Then a couple of years later, demanding half ownership in the business that hired you. Family law overwhelming favors women. Thank you for sharing that. I think Ty said the woman better eat taro and tapioca if she's if you guys are gonna move in together. All right, no worries. I do see a lot of new people for the first time on my podcast and watching this for the first time. So I'll give you guys a shout out. Thank you so much. If you guys love the content, if you guys appreciate being on this live show, do please press that like and subscribe button real quick. Much appreciation for tuning in on the show. And don't forget, if you're tuning in for the first time, you guys can join the live podcast. If you're not familiar with that, the live link is on the top of the pin. It's pinned on top of the YouTube live chat on top of the screen. So that way you guys know, just in case if you guys want to tune in the next week's show, you guys can join us as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the podcast. Thank you so much. Shout out to all the guests and the public guests tonight. And all the ladies, I thank you. Shout out to the ladies for being on here and taking the time and be able to have real, honest, unfiltered, raw conversation of modern dating and relationships. I appreciate you guys. To conclude the show, ladies, I just want to ask you guys real quick, what was your takeaway from tonight's podcast, from these conversations? You guys got to hear the real perspective from the men's perspective, and also we got a chance to hear from your perspective as well. So what was your takeaway from tonight's podcast? And also, how can people find you? There's a lot of people on here who want to find you, support you. How can they find you as well? So I'll start with you, Sharon. What's your takeaway from tonight's podcast? And getting a chance to listen to some fellas and being honest and being real with how we see things, and also you get to share your point of view. What was your takeaway, and how can people find you?
I love the honesty in this podcast, especially from the men's point of view. Yeah, actually, I don't know. Where can you find me? My Instagram is Sharon Shobana.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And quick question, Sharon, do you still want that 50-50 relationship, or did your viewpoint change after tonight's podcast?
There are certain things that men can do, and vice versa. There are certain things that women can do and that men can't. So there, at the end of the day, it's about the compromise over here, and we shouldn't just say that. For me, we shouldn't just say that, oh, this is a man. This is only something that a woman should do, or only something a man should do. If it's something that a man does and a woman can also do, there should be a compromise where, there can be a negotiation. But if it's something that a man does and woman can't do it, or it's something that a woman does and a man can't do it, we cannot put it on them.
She's okay with the 59-41 now.
59.
Okay, you can take 60-40. 60-40. Okay, no worries. All right, no worries. Thank you, Sharon, and thank you for being on here. I really appreciate you tuning in all the way from Singapore. I really appreciate you. Pass on to Roxanne. Roxanne, what's your final takeaway from tonight's podcast and discussion, and how can people find you, Roxanne?
It was a good time, great conversations. So everything, you learn new stuff, you hear people, you hear people's opinion, you state whatever, and so it was good overall. What takeaway? Nothing really nothing. Every conversation was interesting. So it's just the interesting topics that we spoke about. And you guys can find me on all social media at Roxanne Juggernaut. So that's just my full name on all social media, and you'll find me there.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you so much, Roxanne. I really appreciate that. Thank you for having being on tonight. So all the way from Jamaica, I appreciate you. And last but not least, all the way from Fiji, pass it to Christine. Christine, what was your final takeaway from tonight's podcast, and how can people find you, Christine?
Thanks, Will, for having me. It was really fun, and the most interesting thing that I've learned actually today is from that 50-50. I think that I've got a deeper knowledge of this, where the reality is actually not 50-50. And yes, because that's what's practical. Though we have argued that, yeah, we are okay with 50-50, but it's the fact and the reality that matters. So I'm taking that with me today. And I really appreciate that from the guests and the ladies so much. Thank you. And yes, you guys can find me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, under my name, Christine Michael.
Mhm.
And yes, I had a lot of fun listening to you guys and contributing whatever I had. Thank you so much.
All right, no worries. Thank you so much, Christine, and thank you for tuning in all the way from Fiji. And then Ty said, Jamaican women are always calm. 100. Thank you for sharing that, Ty. And then Lansford Anderson said, shout out to all the ladies and all the men. Big up, Will. Great podcast. Thank you. Thank you so much. So thank you so much for all the guests. Thank you so much for being all the beautiful ladies for tuning in. Thank you for the public guests for taking the time to jump on also. And shout out to the live chat. Thank you so much for participating and sharing your thoughts and views on the discussion tonight. We do this every single Saturday. So if you guys missed the podcast for tonight, watch it from the very beginning. And don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel if you love the content. Next weekend, next Saturday, we'll have a whole new panel and guests from all around the world. I appreciate you guys, ladies and fellas. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much. Have a good night, ladies. Peace out.
Thank you.